first time doing a duo.
It's the first time. Yeah, it's the first time it's just me and you for this.
Shit,
Yeah.
like no Ermi on the side.
No. So, welcome to our first episode of the Caffeine Vampire Productions presents Game Chat. So for this, at least for this one, maybe for future ones, maybe not. We'll see what Ermi wants to do. It's just me and Chris for this one because we share the hobby of gaming. We both like it. It's fun and entertaining.
Exactly. It keeps me going, you know?
Yeah. And Ermi doesn't quite feel the same about it, which is fine. So the two of us decided it'd be best if we just jump on this. So just chatting about some news and other things, opinions, all this type of stuff. So there's been a lot of news coming out of the industry lately.
Yeah.
And
crazy stuff.
I don't know if I'm just looking in the wrong place or if it's true. Almost none of it's good news. Almost none of it.
Except
next to none.
Except for like game releases, I see nothing that's like positive.
No. So I think it all started recently with the news that, rather rumors more than news, that a lot of publishers are considering charging more for their products as they come out. So, when I was growing up, when the Xbox 360 era was around, the standard price for a new release was, I think, €65. 65 was like the standard price for a new release, which was... It's a lot, but it's not bad.
But do you remember you would go to like GameStop or whatever and the games would cost like max €50?
That was a great time.
That was a good time.
That was a great time of our life.
I really miss those times.
I miss that time. I do. And now we're getting to a point where, the Nintendo Switch 2 was recently brought out and the standard price for those games, at least for Nintendo party games like Super Mario, like Mario Kart and whatever other Mario games.
At the moment, they're like 60, no?
Well, for the Switch one, I think they followed like the normal standard, like 60 to 70 price range. But the Switch 2 has pushed it to 80. $79.99 for
Are you kidding me?
Switch 2 games.
I have heard of that, yeah.
And so, look, I get that they have to raise the price. I mean, these productions are getting more expensive and more expensive as time goes on. The hardware is getting more expensive to make. There's more people involved in these projects. I get it. The price has got to go up.
I suppose, yeah.
But my problem with that is in recent years, we've had a lot of releases that cost the full amount that do not meet expectations. I'm talking Cyberpunk 2077 when it first came out. Now, whole different story. It's a much more complete project. But when it first launched, general consensus was that thing was a mess. And it was still the full, I think, €70 price.
I didn't play that game. Was it like super buggy or like what was going on? Yeah,
I heard it was very buggy, like texture popping, things get stuck. AI was just brain dead. It was just a whole mess of stuff. And a lot of games suffered from similar issues of, texture popping, frame rate drops, performance issues, optimization, just clunky in general. So I think that, the price is maybe got to go up. Obviously, it's not ideal. I don't want it to go up.
Yeah, of course.
I understand these things cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make. But, if you're going to release something for €80, at least make it a complete project. You know what I mean? Make it a complete product. For paying all this money for it.
Yeah, no. They don't do that these days. You have so many games that came out and they're like pre-releases, which is like, okay, but you still pay quite a good amount of money for that. And then you start playing it. And I understand it's a pre-release. That's what it is. But it's so frustrating. It's not even to the standard of the pre-release.
No. No, there has been some games that... I suppose when you buy early access or on Xbox's game preview, when you buy those, you kind of buy it with the understanding that you're taking a risk that this isn't finished. So you have to jump in knowing what to expect. But by the time it has a full release, you expect those issues, whatever
to go away.
There were, you expect them to be gone.
Yeah.
Because people have been playing it, they've been buying it, they've been giving feedback to the devs. You expect those issues to be gone. I'd like to think in most cases they probably are, but in some cases the pre-release or the early access is almost the exact same as the full release.
Yeah, to be honest, and you see a lot of people be disappointed in the games like that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
you know,
well, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
You've other games like, I think it's called Star Citizen. You ever hear of that game before?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
So it's on, what's that? It's not GoFundMe. It's on, I can't remember the name of the website.
Oh, so it's by an indie or
I think so, yeah. It's by
Mm-hmm.
Indie Dev. It's a GoFundMe campaign.
Oh, okay.
And it's been in development for, I think, something like 12 years.
Holy
something like
shit.
that. Let me just Google the correct amount of years.
Oh, okay.
It's been in development for a long time, and it has racked up a development cost of like 600 million.
What?
No, not Star Citizen. I got the name wrong.
Okay.
That figure is correct, but
that's fucking crazy.
like
what? 600 million, like what?
something like that. Is it Star?
And for 12 years.
Yeah, it's in development for extremely long time. It's not even in early access. I don't think there's much gameplay footage of this. At least the most recent information I heard about it was it's not come out yet. It's not in early access. There's nothing you can play. Mm-hmm. You can purchase things to have when it releases, like, you know, spaceships and gear and stuff like that, and crafting items.
So kind of like additional things that like only the first players can get or something like that.
Yeah, but the problem is there's no release date for this game. There's no information on it. Yeah, Star Citizen, yeah. So there's no information on gameplay or anything.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the one that's on, I'm looking here on Google. It doesn't have a definitive release date, and it's in the alpha stage of development.
Do you think it's a little bit dodgy? Like, for example, if you do buy like a spaceship or something, I don't know how much it costs, but like suddenly they're like, oh, we're canceling everything.
I mean, that's the risk. Like, I'm seeing an article here by Space, $800 million, 13 years, and no release date.
Holy shit.
How does something like that happen?
Not even like an estimate of anything, like when potentially it could get released.
I think the estimate says 20 estimate, according to the Google AI overview, a estimate release date is, it's apparently currently playable in the alpha state, but there's no firm release date for a full version 1.0. The expected or estimated release date is somewhere between 2029 and 2031. How long? No. What is this game that it needs almost 20 years for development? 800 mil? How the
much
fuck?
Shit is going to be in there. Okay, I'm really curious. Like, what did you say it was called? Star Citizen?
Yeah, Star Citizen. So I got it wrong. There is gameplay. Sorry, I take that back. I got it wrong. It's in the alpha stage. I don't know how much of that you can play, because generally you don't really play alpha stage games. More like beta stages where you first pick it up. So I don't know how much of that is playable, but I mean, how do you rack up that much of a cost and that many years and have nothing?
What do you need for production for it to have like so much money? My God.
Yeah. Kickstarter. That's what it was. The Kickstarter campaign.
It's the Kickstarter. Yeah. Okay.
Like, how do you get to this point after 13 years and there's nothing? How does that happen?
It must have been the hype if they actually accumulated that much money in the end, no?
It must be. I think, now, I don't know too much about this project, but I think that it was promises of like, you know, a fully explorable solar system and like kind of space gameplay that we haven't really seen that much before. Now, since obviously Star Citizen came out, there's been games like Starfield, No Man's Sky, The Outer Wilds, where you can explore solar systems and all that. I don't know to what degree Star Citizen is going to take it, but it's insane to me that something like this exists and somehow doesn't exist at the same time.
It's in the works.
It's a work in progress, apparently.
But I hope like it comes out to be like really fucking good.
You'd hope so. You'd hope.
You would hope so. But, like, and at this point, like when it's in the works for this long, I really expect it to be like the least amount of bugginess in the game, no?
You'd expect it to be as close to perfection as you can get
as possible
at this point. Yeah. But then my question is, what we were saying there, if the dev cost was so high and the hype is off the charts and they have all these like DLC you can purchase before the game is even really playable in a beta state even, what's the cost going to be when it comes out to purchase, to own? What's it going to be?
I mean, they kind of...
It's got to be high, right?
I imagine, but like it cannot go over like 100 or something, can it?
I don't know. There's no rules to pricing. I think
technically no.
No, I think companies just follow like industry standard because they don't want to be like the outlier who charges 100 and then no one buys it.
Yeah.
So I think like, well, 70 was the standard, but now it's 80.
I mean, I think it's definitely going to be up in the 80s. Up there
probably. I mean, maybe that's why they're holding out so long on a release date, so they can price it properly with the industry standard to make up the cost. But surely the longer they hold on to this, the more pricey it's going to get to even make. I have no idea.
But the funny thing is, like, within the years, isn't like the standard of quality changes too? So like, don't they have to like keep going back over it to like make it within the progress?
Probably, yeah. And not only that, but, you know, when they started making it in 2013, it's a long time ago in terms of game development.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't the engine be really out of date by now? Whatever game engine they use to make it?
That's so funny.
Like, I'm sure the assets they use are probably really old looking, maybe grainy. I don't know what engine it was developed on. I could be talking out of my ass with that. But
I wouldn't have a clue, so I can't help you there.
I got no idea. But here is my potential, so my opinion with this is, if you're going to raise the cost of games, fine, but make it worth it.
Yeah, make it work. Make it to the end. Like, make sure the quality is good. Like, it's not buggy. Because, like, I hate that the most. I hate being stuck in games. And then it ruins your whole, like, experience of it. And then when updates do come, you kind of, like, play through most of the game. And then you kind of like, I don't really want to continue anymore, you know? The hype is gone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is just me as I get older or if it's the industry itself or what it is exactly. So I've been playing games for many, many years. Most of my life at this rate. I've been playing since I was a kid, maybe 5 or 6 years old. I picked up like Hot Wheels on the PS1.
Aww.
I have been playing games for most of my life.
Wait, your first one was PS1?
Yeah, that's what I remember the most, PS1.
I had the very, very first Nintendo that came out. Like, you know, the little thing when you stick the little cards in.
Oh, the 64, I think it was?
Yeah.
The 64.
I think that's what it's called. I don't know, like the super old one. Like,
but the cartridges, I was never that old. I wasn't that old enough to...
Stop!
Sorry.
I'm not that old.
I just realized what I said. I'm sorry.
No, it's just...
You know what I mean. You know what
Thank you for that, guys.
Sorry.
I am not that old, I swear.
Neither was I.
Not that it matters, but like...
No. Sorry. Just realized how that sounded after I said it. You know what I mean? I was not born in the era where Nintendo 64 was still a popular console.
Fight you.
Fair enough.
No, I'm kidding.
But I heard many great things about it though. Oh man.
It was so cute because he had these like little games, and one of them that I had was my favorite, and it was like Lion King game.
Oh right.
Yeah,
okay.
It was so much fun. I don't know how many times I played it, but it was really many fucking times.
Yeah. But see, that was the thing. I mean, back then, now again, like I said, I was a kid. My brain was just like fucking dopamine overload if I even looked at TV.
It's like sugar rush on games.
Maybe it is as I've gotten older, my brain's changed and all this stuff. But I find that the more time goes on, the less I enjoy it, or the harder it is to please me with a game these days.
Yeah, I mean, you play through so much that you kind of like gathering quality and standard, I would say. Yeah,
and even I think some of these games these days have become such big productions that there's so many people working on them that some of them are fantastic. Some of them are just masterpieces, incredible. Mm-hmm. But then you have the part where games have too many people working on them, and communication kind of gets a little bit messed up
It gets
somewhere
lost
down
in
the
the
line.
system.
Exactly. So this is probably a good example. Take a game like Call of Duty Warzone. Okay. So I don't know how much you know about this, but
It's not one of the games I watched gameplays
Yeah.
of this many times, and my cousins have played it too. But like, I was never the one to actually play it myself.
fair.
So fill me in.
So I'm quite a avid Warzone gamer. Okay. As much as I say I hate the game, it's fun. It's a pile of shit, but it's fun. So what I and what many other people in the community think is a part of the reason why it's in such a bad state, cheaters, optimization, gun balancing, whole lot of stuff like that. Part of the reason that it's in, oh yes.
Do you get like overpowered players there too and everything?
Well, see, it's not necessarily overpowered, but the meta for the guns changes a lot. So,
Okay.
let's think about it realistically for a moment. A gun is a gun. It kills people.
Yep.
That's
Murder 101.
Doesn't matter. You shoot someone, they're dead. Kills people. But the guns in COD obviously have different stats. They're more effective at different ranges, which again, that's probably pretty realistic. But if I shoot someone in the head from 200 meters away, or if I
They're
shoot
gone.
them in the head from 50 meters away, or even 10, the damage they receive will be very different.
Yeah.
It's a gun. It's their head. Die. You know what I mean? Like,
Aggressive.
you know what I mean, though.
Yeah,
But-
I know.
So that's one of the problems, anyways. Like stuff like that, stupid shit like that. I get
Yeah.
it's for fairness and all that stuff, but whatever. That's not the point. The main point is that there is now Call of Duty is one of those games that still releases annually. Big mistake, if you ask me and many other people. They should take a couple of years off. Maybe release once every 3 or 4 years. And each studio takes a turn. So you have a few different studios. You have High Moon Studios. You have Raven Software. You have Treyarch. You have Infinity Ward. You have Sledgehammer. Lots
That
of different
many?
studios. Oh, yeah. They all work on different parts. Some collaborate on some parts. Like Raven Software, I think, is mainly behind Warzone and their anti-cheat. And Sledgehammer helps out with multiplayer and Warzone as well. Now, here's the problem. So many studios working on one project. There's bound to be moments where communication falls apart, and there's bound to be moments where aspects of the game, even if it's the multiplayer and the campaign of the same game, are going to be 10 times different. Obviously, the pacing is different. That's fine. Story mode, you're there for a story. You're there to maybe slow down and take a little bit of story, bit of history, depending on which Black Ops or Call of Duty game you're playing. Makes sense. But if you go to multiplayer and Warzone, very different games, if you ask me.
So they
fundamentally
kind of
speaking.
didn't stick to the standard of what the game was about, or
It's just that 2 different or 3 different studios are responsible for different parts of it. So
yeah, they're bound to be like,
there's bound to be somewhere
Differences.
where communication falls apart and where they have difference of opinion somewhere.
yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't get, like, I get that they need help because it's a massive thing. It's live service. I think I will admit I don't even fully understand the term live service, but it's one of those moments where I think having a huge team of people is taken a little bit too far. That's too many people working on one project or one series, I think.
Yeah, that there's a limit at some point where they
Yeah.
kind of have to like stop and just let the crew do what they need to do,
Yeah, and
and
then
not just add more people into it, and then
you can't just add more people into it and expect it to work better.
no,
I mean,
no. There's
we
so many
even-
different people altogether, so many different
Yeah.
opinions.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not even just the feel of the game or something, or the mechanics. It's also the quality. Like I said, Warzone is updated seasonally, so every few months, maybe about every 2 months, probably about 60 days, you have a major update that brings in some new weapons, some like new events, some new like operators, things like that.
Like when you think about it, that's such a crazy amount of just everything always
Yeah.
happening. Like they really continue.
lot. It's a lot.
Crazy.
Yeah, so a new COD game comes out once a year. and Warzone keeps rolling. They just integrate the new changes to with the new game as it comes out. So it's just a whole problem because the last 3 games that have come out have been integrated into Warzone.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the major complaints is the size of the file. I don't know if you're familiar with how big it is.
Big? No,
it gets 200-300 gigabytes.
Jesus Christ. What? That's like my
It's a
card
big
gone.
file. It's essentially 3 games wrapped into one big file.
Mm-hmm. You need like a whole amount of space if you want to keep installing those games.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And games are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Mm-hmm. That's another problem.
But we need more storage and more storage continuously.
It's a never-ending cycle of companies just making decisions that seem insignificant and end up snowballing into something so much bigger.
I mean, sometimes it can be cool because sometimes, like, I see the reason why it would take so much space, but then sometimes I'm like, well, you didn't need that here.
No. And, you know, a big thing nowadays with gaming is that if a game is going to be played by thousands of people per day or hundreds of thousands of people per year, it needs to be quality. It's got to be good. There's many
These
games
days,
out there. 100%. There's many games out there that have come out in the last couple of years that have been terrible. Not optimized, not working correctly. And there's other ones that have come out recently that have been great. Really, really good. Getting great reviews and all that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of indie games lately are getting so good.
Absolutely.
And like so much better in quality than the ones that are done by like, you know, super big companies and stuff. And that's such a change, you know.
Yeah, see, I think the indie developers or AA studios, I don't really know where the line is changed between indie and AA. I think the difference between those indie developers and the AAA developers is I feel like indie developers often chase a project or make a project out of passion or out of love for the IP. So, for example, a very, very good recent example is the guys behind Claire Obscure, Expedition 33.
Oh, I love that game. It's
Ubisoft AAA studio has many quality games under its belt, more so a couple of years ago rather than today. You know, they've had a little bit of a falling off with Assassin's Creed and Division and Far Cry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, they're in the heyday. I think they're slowly starting to kind of recover, but some more news came out about them that we'll probably touch on later. But for those who don't know, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is a game that was published by, I think they're a French studio, full of ex-Ubisoft developers and I think a few other studios that they pulled guys from.
I don't think it was that many from Ubisoft. I think it was like, I can't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was like 3, maybe.
Okay, so it wasn't that many.
Just a couple of them. Yeah.
But even still, I think one of them was like a ex-lead designer for some game. I'm not sure exactly of the background of these people. I just know they're ex-Ubisoft developers. And you told me before that the guy who made the OST or the soundtrack was found on SoundCloud.
I know, that's so crazy.
How fucking crazy is that?
I love it because you find talent in like all these little places that the big companies don't really look for.
Yeah.
Which is why I think it came all together to become this like amazing, great project that they made.
Yeah, I mean, currently I haven't played it. I do have it installed because we're saving it for a playthrough on the channel.
Hell yeah.
On YouTube.
I was so excited for you to play.
Yeah. So Chris, you have played it. Please give me your opinion. What you think is different between a AA studio chasing their passion versus a AAA studio chasing cash?
I mean, it's just how everything came together. I think like the whole story, they found really great writers. Like the whole story was so unique to me. Like even at the very beginning, I was just like so mesmerized by it. At first, my fiance asked me, it's like, pick between 2 games, which do you want to play? And it was between Claire Obscure and Blue Prince, I think.
Okay.
And I was kind of like, I don't really know if I want to like play Claire Obscure. I didn't hear so much about it. It just came out, blah, blah. And then I was like, yeah, okay, let's just give it a go. And as soon as it started, like, instantly I was like, oh, what's going on? What is this? And the music is so beautiful. I think it's one of my favorite OSTs that I can say. And I think even their mechanics, and I know a lot of people will say that they don't like it because it's a turn-based. And I know you also said that too. You were really like sus about it.
A little bit, yeah. I admit.
But in my opinion, I would say like they near perfected how a turn-based game should be.
Okay. I heard some good things. Like you were saying, you told me that it's turn-based, but they still have a system where even when it's not your turn, you still have to block and parry attacks.
Crazy shit.
You're always on your toes, even when you're not actively attacking.
It's so funny because so many different enemies and bosses have different patterns and a couple of them too. You're just like, oh, I already know how to dodge this one, and then suddenly it's like, flop, you're dead. They got you.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it so fun. I don't know, they just put so much love and interest into this game, and you can tell.
Yeah. Well, that's the good thing. I mean, for those who played it as well, what did you think about Clair Obscur? I haven't played it just yet, but we will be soon. So let us know what you think. If you have any opinions about the game that you'd like to share, whether it's good, bad, maybe mixed reviews, whatever you think, drop it down below. We'll read it. We'll get back to you.
Would love to know.
We'd love to know your opinions as well.
One of my favorite games at the moment.
Yeah, so I'll be trying it soon. But I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know anything about it other than the basic kind of overview of the story. I know that much, but I don't know much about it besides
kind of like the things that I told you, like behind the scenes.
I've been intentionally avoiding everything about it so I don't spoil myself. I've been intentionally avoiding it. I don't want to know anything about it.
You don't want to get spoiled. I think there are some scenes that you're going to be like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, sorry, go.
I was just going to say it's going to hurt.
Oh, great.
Right in the heart.
Oh, great. Yeah, I as I've gotten older, as we said before, games have changed. I've become much more of a story lover over the last couple of years than I was before. Too. When I was a kid, I was like, who fucking cares about story?
Let's shoot some people.
Give me guns, give me swords, give me violence. That's all I cared about. Yeah, exactly. Give me action. But now as I get older, I'm kind of I'm like, let me get involved in some of these stories a little bit more. Because I've played some of the most iconic games of recent years. I couldn't tell you shit about the story.
Which ones? Which games are you like referring to?
So some of the most iconic series, specifically superhero comic book series, is the Batman Arkham games. I've played Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, and Arkham Origins. I started and Arkham Knight. Sorry, not Arkham Origins. I started that one on PS Plus, played like an hour, and
it's all for the action.
It's all for the action. It's still a cool game. I don't know why I got distracted and didn't go back to it, but it's not a bad game.
That happens to me all the time. Yeah. But
I have no fucking idea what the story is for them. I was like 15 when they came out, and I wasn't really all that interested in story. I was just like, this game is fun. It's a stealth game. It's pretty cool. Give me more. And that's all I wanted. Stealth action, give me more. That's all I wanted. Chef's kiss, that's all I wanted. Give me more. But I think even then, that goes back to a time where quality was really important to developers. It feels like it's not quite the same anymore. Or
no.
Okay. Here, I got a hot take. All right, I got a hot take.
Go for it.
So,
give us the hot tea.
A lot of games are coming out, and they're like, the developers are like, oh my god, it runs at 4K, 120 FPS, 120 hertz refresh rate, ray tracing, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Let me give it to you straight. If that game is coming out on console, most people cannot run that. Most people cannot run that. Most PCs, I'd say the average gaming PC that people might have, that costs, I would say, somewhere between 1,500 and maybe 2,000. I think if you have a gaming PC at 2,000, unless you get really lucky with parts and prices and all that stuff, most cannot handle the power that these games need.
The normal PCs, no, like a laptop will freaking explode or something. Jesus, I don't know.
Forget about it.
Dead.
Here's my hot take. All right, attack me if you want in the comments. This is my hot take.
Please be nice.
So obviously games consoles, I'm a console player, so I don't have a gaming PC or a laptop of that kind. Most game consoles run at about 4K 30, right? 4K 30 FPS, which it looks great, but it doesn't look very smooth. So graphically it looks great, but doesn't run very smooth because 30 FPS is They could probably stretch to 60, but depends on the game and optimization and so on. So anyway, for the third time, my hot take. I think I would be more than happy for developers to sacrifice the visual and graphical quality for the gameplay quality. If you give me 1080p 60, I'm fucking happy.
Yeah.
1080p 60 and fun gameplay.
It's still fucking good. It's still good quality.
That's all you need.
You don't need more than that. Like, yeah, it's really cool. Like, I love when the graphics are like super clear and stuff, but like, you don't always need that. No,
like developers, if anyone is listening, you don't need to push these consoles to their limits. You don't need to do it. It's
because
great
like
when you can.
They can't handle it.
You don't need to do it.
At least mine can't.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, Xbox and PS5, they can do 4K. They can do 120 refresh. They can maybe stretch in some very rare cases to 120. I don't think so, though.
But they do take a lot of space, don't they?
A lot of space.
That's the thing. Like.
And then the problem is, because they're so graphically impressive, they don't run very well sometimes. They don't optimize very well.
No.
So you get lots of glitches. Sometimes glitches can be cool, like in Skyrim. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up Skyrim glitches. There are more features than bugs. That's the only... I think Bethesda's the only company that can get glitches right accidentally.
And get away with it.
Get away with it because it's so fucking stupid.
Love them so much. I love scrolling through TikTok just to see the Skyrim glitches.
They have some of the strangest things happen in their games. I've played thousands of games in my life. I don't know where I could find any glitches that happen in a game outside of a Bethesda game. I don't know how they do it, but they do it every time. I don't know how they do it.
Like, you know, the one with the guy that's like completely covered in snow and it's like, snow, we need more snow.
No, what's that from?
It's from Skyrim. I think
I never saw that.
Okay, I will send it to you later. I think it's so funny.
Yes, do. But guys, what do you think about pushing games to their limits, pushing consoles to their limits? I get that you want to have graphically impressive games because they look beautiful. We're in the next generation. Yeah. We'll probably be moving to the Xbox 720 and the PS6 soon. But just because consoles have limits does not mean that you've got to push them every single time. It doesn't mean that.
I mean,
if you ask me.
It's cool to experiment with it, like, yeah, sure, but like, don't fucking overdo it. Please don't kill what's been good already.
I mean, like, I get that I do like when some games have the option for a performance mode versus like a fidelity mode. I like that because that's great. You can choose it to run at, 4K, 9,000 frames a second if you have the rig to pull it off. Again, most people don't. But like, for example, the Spider-Man games from Insomniac, they have a fidelity mode and they have a performance mode. So the quality mode, I think, is like 4K 120. Looks incredible. Looks cool. Incredible.
That's cool.
You might have a couple of drops here and there, but that's fine. I don't mind a few drops here and there. And then they've the, I think, not performance, like the quality mode, where the graphics look a little bit better, but it's dropped to, I think, 30 frames. So it's smoother in terms of you don't have frame drops, you don't have glitches or draw distance issues or anything like that. Still looks great. Yeah,
I think the biggest issue, like when the frame drops or like you get glitches, like, when you're in battle mode or you're fighting an enemy or something and like you click all the right buttons and suddenly it just glitches and you're fucked.
It's the worst time.
You're dead, especially like when you're so close to killing the enemy and then it just like destroys you.
It's the most annoying thing.
Very sad.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, fuck, don't even get me started on boss fights. I mean, back in... There was like a period where every single game had to have 15 boss fights. Where did that even come from?
Who came up with that?
That went away for a while, but it's sort of... maybe not coming back. I guess in a Souls-like game it's coming back, but that's different because that type of game demands bosses. It demands bosses, it's different.
Yeah.
But there was bosses in everything for ages. Everything. You could go to any game, I think maybe around like I'd say 2010 to 2015, probably.
Bosses everywhere.
You could go to any game and there's a boss in there somewhere. Why?
And
most of these games didn't need them.
And so many optional bosses in that case too.
So many. So
funny.
Yeah, that's another thing I don't like about games getting bigger is they're getting more bloated. Like, you don't, just because you have a massive open world doesn't mean you have to fill every single square inch with something to do. Just let people breathe.
I mean, it's really cool when, you have, you're doing this big exploration, like you're in this big area and stuff. I think it's cool if you go into like the secret areas and you actually find some stuff there.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, you don't need to overload it. And also, it's really sad when it's just too empty. Like you're thinking I'm exploring so much, or like I'm going into these secret hideouts, and then you get nothing.
Yeah, it's. I think it's a hard balance to do it between not overdoing it and not underdoing it. You don't want the world to feel dead. Of course, it depends what kind of game you're making. If you're making something like Days Gone, like post-apocalyptic,
then it's different.
You kind of want it to feel dead to an extent. Dead in the sense of like everyone's fucked up, not the sense of like there is nothing going on here.
The emptiness.
Yeah, I think those games,
don't need that.
When they're empty for like post-apocalyptic reasons, that's where atmosphere should take over.
But that makes sense to do it like that,
100%.
That's the whole point
absolutely.
of the game then.
100%. Yeah, no, I agree with that point as well. Yeah, but there's a lot of news coming out these days.
A lot of news. But, coming back to the Nintendo with them raising the prices, because I don't know if it's a rumor. I mean, yeah, it's a rumor right now, but I feel like they will raise the prices. But to me, it's so sad because Nintendo was so consistent for so many years. It was their thing. There were so many developers, or with every game release, they would change the prices and things. They were not stable in pricing, but Nintendo was every fucking time. So to me, it's a little bit of surprise because you had this trust going with them. Like Mario is going to be always that certain price. It's never going to change. It's never going to drop or have a discount. But you get the quality for that money. Yeah,
absolutely.
So.
Yeah, it's a strange one because, like you said, I mean, Nintendo for me growing up was always viewed as the family-friendly gaming brand.
Yeah.
Mario Kart, Mario Party.
Very customer friendly,
kid friendly, nothing too crazy on the consoles, nothing, you had a few outliers, there was a couple zombie shooters, and I think Resident Evil was on the Switch or the Wii U or something like that. A couple of outliers, but for the most part, pretty family friendly. And for them to be the first company to push the €80 price for a game is crazy to me.
Yeah,
for them to be the first.
It's my mind is oh, wait, when did this happen?
Yeah, and I mean, the funny thing is that a lot of the games coming out on Switch, the Switch 2 is probably about as powerful as, I think I've been seeing a lot of people say, this is from GameRanks that I got this, I don't know the exact specs off the top of my head. GameRanks says it's about as powerful as a PS4 Pro, maybe. So
a Switch 2?
Yeah, so it's pretty powerful.
Crazy, yeah.
Pretty powerful.
That's
not quite up to par with, PS5, Xbox Series X, but that's fine. It's a handheld device. Not really supposed to be. It's similar in terms of caliber. So my question is, if it's only as powerful as a PS4 Pro, and the games obviously have to be smaller, they got to fit on more of a cartridge rather than a disc or a file, what's costing so much?
Yeah.
They're smaller.
What changed?
It's less powerful hardware. What's going on?
Nah, it kind of makes you think it's really all about the money, which is.
I mean,
I get it. Money. I get it. You gotta make money for sure, 100%. It's just it's a little bit sad considering how far they've come with this.
Yeah, it is. I mean, look, I don't mind paying a little bit of a higher price, like you said, if the quality is there.
When it's worth it, it's worth it.
Absolutely. For example, I know the next game that comes out that I'm not even going to question the quality over price is GTA 6. Not even going to question it. The minute pre-orders go live, boom,
the most anticipated game,
that's gonna
it's gonna be up there on top.
But
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Me too. The difference between Rockstar and every other AAA developer is, Rockstar is still a huge studio. Yeah. I know what I said when I said that a lot of different studios working together, thousands of different people can cause problems, but Rockstar
big butt.
Only works with Rockstar. They don't work with other companies owned by Microsoft or PlayStation or Sega or Nintendo. Rockstar works with Rockstar. They work with their studio in Canada, in I think New York, in Scotland, in London. All the different Rockstar studios work together. They don't outsource. Okay, well, I don't know about that, but the studios work together. They're all Rockstar employees. It's not Raven Software working with High Moon Studios for something.
Yeah.
It's all Rockstar. It's all internal.
They keep up to the standard and they deliver.
Exactly. They have their standards. They have their process. Most of the time, it works pretty damn well.
And you know, that's what's so cool about this, because like so many people are willing to wait until the game is actually finished and completed.
Yeah.
To have like good quality, that they're willing for the date to be postponed.
Yeah.
Unlike some other games, but like that's what I like about Rockstar, because they say, "Hey, look, we need more time," and that's okay. That's totally fine.
That's fine. Look, I mean, I was of course sad when the release date was officially announced to be pushed back, but instead of saying fall 2025, they said, okay, instead of a rough window, it's the 28th of May or 26th of May. They went from uncertainty to this is the day.
Yeah,
and like they're not pushing it back 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It's about a year. Well, it's about 6 months from the original window that they announced in the first trailer. About 6 months back. And I'm happy they pushed back GTA 6 because I don't want to buy it and go, oh man.
You don't want to be disappointed. Not with this one.
No, because I think Rockstar is kind of in trouble now because the games are so good. They've got them into a situation where if their next project does not do better, or if it's not better than the previous one, even if it trumps 99% of games out there, if GTA 6 is not better than GTA 5, they've got a problem. You know what I mean? Like,
there's going to be a riot.
Yeah, even if GTA 6 is 10 times better than anything else out there, if it's not better than the previous iteration, I think they might have a little bit of a problem.
Which is why I think they really postponed that, because they were like, yep, we really have to make it to the top. Like, it has to be top notch.
Yeah. I think it's more so about optimization rather than...
Not like game stories and everything, but like, optimization and everything.
Optimization sounds like a huge task for developers these days.
I can imagine that, yeah.
God, yeah.
So much time goes into it.
Yeah, I mean, not even time, but games like GTA 6 and Rockstar games, like for those, I don't know how you haven't, but if you haven't played a Rockstar game of recent years, like Red Dead Redemption 2, GTA 5, those worlds feel alive for the time period they're based in.
Yeah,
like you go GTA
crazy.
5, you can see people drunk on the street at night. You can see people taking photos near Hollywood. You can see people relaxing and sunbathing on the beach.
It's the little details, like
it's the teeny tiny things.
Makes everything.
Goes back to what I said a few minutes ago. I am okay to sacrifice graphical quality if it means the little things are done right.
Yeah.
It means the little things are done right. Small details. GTA 5 came out 2013. I was 12 when that game came out.
Aww.
I was 12 when that came out. I was 12 when it came out.
Must have been so fun playing that at that age.
I wasn't allowed to.
Oh, you weren't allowed. No. Yeah, of course you were 12. No. Of course you can't play that.
No, there's like bad shit for kids in there.
Yeah, but I mean like... some kids didn't care, you know. It was just like crazy. But,
I didn't care, but my parents cared.
Yeah.
So I had good people looking after me. As much as I hated it back then.
You don't need that exposure.
No, you don't. Kids are very impressionable at that age, so you're really... It's a good thing I wasn't able to. But, there's a lot of interesting news that has come out. And I said something there a few moments ago about Ubisoft, because I think it was them where an article came out within, I think, the last day or two. They updated their terms of service, and they mentioned that if you purchase any of their games, whether it's like a live service one or a normal game, I'm not sure if this extends to normal games, but I saw recently that they updated their terms of service, that if a game that they have server support for, like a multiplayer game or a live service game, if that title shuts down and support is dropped, I don't know how they enforce this. The terms of service state, any copy you have must be uninstalled from your device and destroyed.
What? This sounds like it's some kind of illegal artifact.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
I think
Are you kidding me?
No,
Like,
I'm not. This is something that genuinely came out in the last couple of days. That
What?
How do they plan to
Destroy
enforce
your
this?
copies.
How do you plan to enforce this?
But does that mean any copy you have like becomes illegal?
I don't know, because technically you're breaching the terms of service. Is breaching terms of service illegal for a company like that? Well, I guess you're a criminal, yeah. Filthy criminal.
How dare you?
You have the Division 1 installed? You're a criminal.
Jail.
Jail.
Straight to jail.
It's
Wow.
crazy, though. It's crazy, though.
I did not expect that, okay? I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I am
it's
so
crazy.
out of the loop for like news in general these days.
It's crazy, yeah. Okay, so this article that I just mentioned, it was posted on Reddit from techforgamers.com 2 hours ago. This is very recent news.
Damn.
Very, very recent news. Yeah, so Ubisoft updated their EULA, the end user license agreement, and it says this word for word. You and Ubisoft or its licensors may terminate this EULA at any time for any reason. This will terminate automatically if you fail to comply with any terms and conditions of this, blah, blah, blah. Upon termination for any reason, you must immediately uninstall the product and destroy all copies of the product in your possession.
This sounds so serious.
What the fuck? It's a game that lost support. How fucking illegal is this?
So kind I can't speak. Some kind of like apocalyptic shit.
Like, this goes back to, this is another kind of news topic as well that I don't know if you've heard of, maybe you have, maybe you haven't. A lot of companies, specifically Ubisoft, are mentioning that just because you purchase a game doesn't mean you own it.
Yeah, I heard about that. But like,
What?
what? Am I like, because you don't have the license or like, what?
Like, I have given Ubisoft €80 for a fucking game.
Yeah, for
and I don't
what
have ownership
do I
over it.
buy that?
What am I buying that for? If I don't have if I don't have the right to own it, like, what do I buy it for?
I don't understand that at all. Like,
You know
it
what I
makes
mean?
no
Like-
sense. What is changing in the world that is like, oh, the game you buy that you technically own on your PC or whatever, it's not yours.
I have no idea what goes through these companies' minds when they're talking about stuff like this. Like, what the actual fuck?
Like, so anything in the future that can happen to this game, they are still under control of it. Like, hey.
I guess technically, yeah. I guess if you don't own the rights to a product that you purchase for them, I guess you could argue they have full total control over anything you do with this item.
So, like, are they gonna have, like, an additional thing where you're like, oh, buy your licensing here? And it's like, technically.
Buy your licensing here. You just purchase the disc, or maybe from the Microsoft Store or PlayStation Store.
For, like, €80.
Buy your rights to the product here. What the fuck?
That's so crazy.
Oh my god, let's not give them ideas. That's even worse.
No, take it back.
terrible.
Take it back.
That's fucking terrible.
Don't put this in.
God, but guys, let us know what you think about this, because this is very, very recent news. Like, only in the last, I think, day or a few hours this came out, because this is insane. What do you think about, if you purchase a game, do you think you should be able to own it? Do you think you own this product? Do you think the company should retain rights to this in any way? Drop a comment down below. Let us know what you think.
We would love to hear it.
We'd love to hear it, because this is a very strange time for gaming. A lot of strange news has come out in the last couple of weeks. And this, for me, tops all of it.
Yeah.
How do you even buy something and not own it, and then are forced to destroy all items of this property in your library?
The way it's written is just so funny to me. Just like, you have to destroy everything.
Like what's it gonna, like, what's the fucking T-1000 gonna pop out the wall and kill me if I don't uninstall a Ubisoft game? Like, what?
Oh my god, that's terrifying. It's like some horror movie shit.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the Division 2 lost support. I'm gonna keep playing it. And I just hear like, you must uninstall the game now. Like, what the fuck?
I can just imagine like when they say that like you must uninstall and destroy, like, you know, gathering all your games if you have them in physical form and just like set them on fire, like quick.
Summer barbecue.
Yeah, there you go, like grill.
Needs charcoal when I have all these unsupported games just lying around.
Oh, my heart would sink. Like, no.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a crazy couple of weeks. Well,
that is something.
It's something. Well, guys, let us know what you thought of this episode of the Caffeine Vampire Productions presents Game Chat. This is our first go at something like this. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun. I love talking about games. Also, clearly I don't keep up with the news, and you're like, you know your shit.
Well, I wouldn't say I know my shit. I just kind of know the headlines and like basic information. So
that's better. That's more than I know.
Yeah. Well, guys, look, if there's something you think I missed or something we missed or something we maybe got wrong, again, let us know down below.
Correct us if you're wrong.
Please do. Please do correct us if we're wrong. But hope you had fun listening to this, because I had a lot of fun talking about it and making it. But I think that's a good point to end for our first one. So thank you so much for listening. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Caffeine Vampire Podcast. And be sure to leave a like, subscribe, leave a rating if you can, if your platform allows that. And we will see you next time, either on our main podcast or in our next game chat.
Can't wait.
See you then.
Excited.
Bye.
Bye.